Hey everyone, Biscuit again, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the high-grade Universal Sentry MS-06S Zaku 2 Principality of Xeon Chars Zaku's mobile suit. Or, to avoid a ton of a mouthful, just Chars Zaku. This thing is actually the revive from the HGUC released all the way back in, I want to say, 95 or no, not 95, like 99 or 2000. So yeah, obviously it's needed an updated 1/144th kit for a long time. The real grade didn't quite do it justice. And now we finally have a really solid representation of it. Let's get straight into it. First, talking about the box, we have a very, very nice image of Chars Zaku doing the iconic kicking pose on the granddaddy right here. Flipping it to the side, we can see some very nice images. I'm not entirely sure if this is a painted model or not. It doesn't look like it, but Bandai's always deceiving about it. Some very nice action poses demonstrating the rubberized skirting armor and its very nice articulation. Ball joints in the wrists, giving it just a little bit more motion. Flipping it on to this side, we again just have Chars Zaku. Flipping it around to the back, we have a blurb about it and another very nice image. I'm not going to bother reading all this, but if you want to, it is right here to read at your own leisure. So now let's talk about the kit itself. And the first thing I have to say is the lighting of the place I'm in right now doesn't quite do the color justice. It looks very orangey and not Chars Zaku-like at all. I assure you this is not what it looks like. Maybe if I don't know, tweak the camera a little bit, it'll look a little bit better, but I promise you this is not at all what this kit looks like on camera. But talking about the actual colors, it's a lot richer compared to what we would have seen in some of Chars' other model kits. Take the HGUC Chars Rick I reviewed a while ago. That's a lot more subdued and not very in-your-face colors as this is right here. We have a very nice, rich salmon pink, classic Char colors. We've got a very deep, almost velvety red. I'm really digging this color. And then we have a mix between black and gray for the inner frame, inside right here. And that in there is obviously a sticker, but that's the only sticker on this whole model. And yeah, that's pretty much it for colors. I think this is more of a black than the inner frame is. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, overall, generally speaking, it's a very nice representation. Very anime accurate if you're into anime accuracy. And yeah, overall, aesthetics, very, very pleasing. Let's move on. So here's everything that the HGUC Revive Chars Zaku 2 comes with. There is one thing worth mentioning. You get alternate skirting pieces. And these are actually rubberized, so we'll dive a little bit deeper into what these do for the articulation in the articulation segment. But long story short, this is essentially my second time building this kit, and I got lazy and never cut out the skirting armor. So here we are. The hard skirts do come in the box, and they're okay. Pros and cons of them. There's a 3mm hole in the back of the hard skirts, and there's hard points on this side. I don't know about this side, but there is a hard point on this side for the axe to attach to, and it does attach really well. So let's talk about the hands. We've got two fists. We've got another fist for some reason. I'm not sure why, but Bandai decided to include two kinds of fists. One of them is a slightly different color. I don't know if my camera will pick that up, but it's a slightly different color. Not sure why, but okay, I guess. Talking about its arsenal, first we have the Heat Hawk. Very classic, and something interesting is that even in the box and promotional images, the Heat Hawk apparently is painted. I genuinely thought it wasn't, but it is. Interesting. And the way it goes in is pretty simple. You, of course, just slide it into the hand like so, and bam! One of the only Zaku model kits that can actually successfully hold its Heat Hawk correctly. Very nice. And, of course, with the rubberized size skirting armor, you don't have anywhere to put it, so when it's not using it, unfortunately, just put it to the side or whatever. Then, next you have your trigger finger hand. This is important because it allows you to hold both the Zaku machine gun and the Zaku bazooka. Both of these are very nice weapons and have some very nice functions to them. You've got a movable scope right here, movable handle that can move all the way out in and all the way out this way. So, and there's 2 pegs. It can be held either side, but unfortunately, I'm not sure that it came with 2 trigger finger hands. Actually, no, I'm confident it did not. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Do be careful with the Zaku machine gun, at least with this handle. On my other copy of this, it absolutely snapped because of friction and stress over time, so please be careful with that. Then the Zaku Bazooka, same story, except its handle does move, so you can get some better poses out of it. Sight moves all the way like that, which is really nice, and all the way down like that. And of course, the handle moves just as you would expect it to. The trigger finger is at a slight curve, so when you pop it into the hand, just like so, it's at a slight angle, and these, which we will dive more deeper into during the articulation, are on ball joints, so it'll allow you to get a lot of more posing options out of it. And yeah, that's it for... Oh, no, I almost forgot. We also have a widespread open hand, which pops into the left arm, just like so. And we have an action base adapter. If you use the hard skirting armor, you'll have a 3mm hardpoint back here, so you won't really need this. But if you're using this, this simply slides in right here, and this will allow you to attach it to any 3mm action base. So yeah, that's it for accessories. Let's move on to articulation. And of course, we'll be doing this from the head down. So the head has some crazy movement. Before I really get into it, this is a no polycap build, and in case you don't know what polycaps are, they're essentially a one-size-fits-all solution to high-grade and some master-grade gunpla, where they're soft, rubbery plastics that go in and help give good friction, but over time they can droop and don't hold up as well as some just plastic-on-plastic joints normally would. So, talking about the head, it can look up that far, which is really nice for a Zaku, and look down that far. It helps that there's a hinge joint inside of the neck, which allows it to get some really good chicken head action. The eye, of course, is on a little switch, and if we pull in just something random to move it around with, the kit can very easily look around, and it can actually look around a lot farther than most other Zaku model kits, at least that I've handled, can. So, moving down to the torso, I don't even know what you'd call this. The part where the shoulder connects to the torso is very interesting, because it's a huge pulley system that completely pulls out and allows you to spread the arms very far this way, and very far, maybe not as, okay, yeah, basically nothing back. But that also allows you to go up and down, and that's just right here. With the actual shoulder now, the shoulder is nice. This pops off a lot, and now it's gone. But like I was saying, the spike shield, no, not spike shield, the spike shoulder pops off an awful lot, so be very careful of that. But it does move up, down, and have a little bit of wiggle since it's on a ball joint. But the actual shoulder itself can move out in, not so much. It can raise up as far like that. Same story for this side. We have a hinge joint and a peg that kind of work somewhat, not very well. The peg is actually very loose. It's the same thing on my other copy of this kit, so do be careful. If you rotate it out of the way, it will move up like that. And same story for here. The arms will raise up about 90 degrees to the actual kit. You have a full swivel up top, and you actually have a 2-point swivel, which is very interesting. This is for getting the iconic Xeon curved arms just like that for when they're just standing. But that does mean that we have a 2-point bend that's very deep and amazing. I don't think you could get any more out of that. I don't even know how they managed to engineer that. That is astounding. And talking about the wrists, So there's a good and a negative to these. The good is you've got ball jointed wrists, and because they're at a really weird curve thing, you can get some really interesting and dynamic poses out of that with the hands, and that really comes in handy when you're posing the beam machine gun and not beam machine gun, the Zaku machine gun and bazooka. But the problem with that is these wrists, on this side, it's not super loose. On this side, it might be, it's very loose on this side, and it doesn't pop out super easily, but it just gets really loose once it's like that. It won't be popping out anytime soon, but it is weirdly loose, so you might want to tighten that up a little bit. I don't know why it's on this side specifically. Might have something to do with the fact that weight over time just maybe stressed out the plastic a little bit. Not super sure, but do be careful of that. Ab crunch is insane. You get a very nice, very, very nice ab crunch. I think it's a 2-point bend. I'm not entirely sure, but the majority of the work happens about right here. And moving out to the back is, again, very, very nice. You get a full swivel rotation because this part is actually connected to the torso and not the skirt. Which I don't know why they haven't done before. I think this is the first Zaku figure or model kit to actually do that. So, kicks all the way up to the front, just like that. And this is, again, the rubberized skirting armor. So, this essentially does nothing to limit the articulation. Everything is exactly how it should be. And it's all very nice and flush, absolutely seamless. I don't even know why you'd want the other skirting armor, but I'm glad they included it. The bend on this thing is insane. You have a 2-point bend, first point and second point. And that's one of the only few negatives about this kit. This pipe right here. So all the pipes on here are rubberized, including the ones on the face. Didn't need to be, but they are. So that means you can't paint them. And because of that, these do get extremely stressed right here. I don't know if this kit might also just not have been moved around enough for it to be happening. It happened on my other figure. It broke on my other figure. So be very careful because, to begin with, you can't paint these. Don't even try to. It's not worth it. And they're just awful in general. They bend very flush with the leg, which I really enjoy. They pop out very easily when they're hyperextended and bent this far. So just be very careful of that. Full swivel, obviously. And the feet are awesome. So they go down that far, up that far, and there's an additional hinge that allows you to drop the whole foot down and back up. So that's really nice. Overall, articulation on this thing is insane. I don't even know how Bandai managed to engineer it in such a way, but they did, and it's awesome, and I love it. This is probably one of the best articulated high grades around, comparable to that of the, I don't know, Moon Gundam. It's so articulated, and I love it. Let's move on to the final thoughts. So, final thoughts on the HGUC Chars Zaku 2 Revive. I think anyone who's ever owned this figure will agree with me when I say this is probably one of the best, if not the best, Zaku model kit ever, really. I firmly believe this to be better than plenty of other things. The Master Grade 2.0 has absolutely nothing on this. The proportions, the looks, the colors, everything. The color might not be to your taste, of course. It is very rich, but that's really just a nitpicky thing, and I'm just trying to look for small complaints. I don't really have any complaints about this thing. There's some stuff you may want to look out for, but other than that, it's amazing. And now your entry grade RX-78-2 will finally have a buddy to be kicked. Now, here's a question that I know some people might be asking. Is this thing better than the high-grade Gundam, the Origin Chars Zaku 2? Now, of course, this guy has been painted. There are decals on him, and he's very, he's had a lot of extra effort done on him. And ultimately, I'd say it comes down to your personal preference. If you like realistic styles, more real robots, militaristic, go for this guy. Easily, you will want him. Comes with decals, comes with more accessories, just an overall really fun kit. But if you want something with a lot of articulation, anime accuracy, then go for this guy. Both are really good. If I had to choose between the two, down to my personal taste, I would go with this guy. But both are amazing kits, and I highly recommend them both. Maybe I'll go more in depth in a future video. But anyway, my name's been Biscuit. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to go and follow my Instagram because I'm a lot more active on there than I am here. And I'll see you guys next time.